welcome to NYMLB Talk, New York's #1 baseball podcast. Now here's your hosts, Chris Pizzaya and Rob Maraska.
And welcome to a new episode of NYMLB Talk with your hosts Rob and Chris as we cover the Mets, the Yankees, and all of Major League Baseball. And if you're watching us on YouTube, hit that subscription button for us. That would be great. We would really appreciate it. And remember, you could follow us on Twitter/X. You could follow us on TikTok as well at NYMLB Talk. You can follow Rob at R Maraska. You can follow myself at CP7NY. And Rob, what's going on?
Hey, a better weekend for both teams, right?
Yeah.
Finally. I told you that the Yankees were going to sweep the Cardinals. Hello out there to Joe Dell. He's already Joe, we know that you subbed, but thanks anyway.
Subs, co-hosting, guests.
Yeah, you've done it all. He's done it all. But yeah, the Yankees swept the Cardinals. The Mets took 2 out of 3 against the Mariners, including the Little League Classic last night. So far, things are looking a little better and, a little brighter for both teams. So let's talk about the Yankees and Joe Dell's making me laugh. Greatest baseball show ever, second to Kiner's Corner.
All right. That's pretty
all
good.
Right. Thanks, Joe. We appreciate that. Anyway,
Yeah.
so the Yankees swept the Cardinals. What did you think about the series?
Yeah, you know what? It started off good. Luis Hill pitched really good in that first game. We almost gave the game back to them. We started off 4-0, and then they got 3 back, but we held on to win. Bednar with the save, actually, Friday night and Saturday night. But the other 2 nights, Max Fried on Saturday got through 5 innings, almost 6. But he did give up a lot of runs. He does not look like the Max Fried of the first half that we've seen. He's not the ace that we've seen that first half. And let's be honest, the Yankees need him to be the ace that he was in that first half of the season. And he just hasn't been that. Since the blister game, he has not been the same pitcher. So we will see. What's up, Jonathan?
Hey, Jonathan.
Yeah,
it is Rob, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's all right. Close enough.
Yes.
Yeah, and the positive is you've seen the offense of the Yankees going, right? Even without Stanton, he sat all 3 games. They said he wasn't recovering after playing all those games in the outfield at Yankee Stadium. So we didn't have Stanton all 3 games. Goldschmidt didn't start until the last game. But the offense was going, man. They scored 24 runs in 3 games. So that's pretty good. It's just the starting pitching was not great in those 2 games. In the Saturday game and the Sunday game, Will Warren pitched okay, but he just kind of ran out of gas in that 5th inning. So, but overall, listen, I'll take the sweep any day of the week. And it was I think it was a confidence booster. They won in different ways, not just with the home run. They won with speed. Caballero is, he's that speed guy that we've been missing. Yeah. He started on Sunday at shortstop instead of Volpe. And you know what? I think he's got to play more, that kid. We got him from Tampa for 1 prospect, and he's got like 3 or 4 years of control, which is great. So yeah, I think it's a matter of, and then you got 2 other guys coming back for the Yankees still. You still got Fernando Cruz for the bullpen and Ryan Yarbrough, who we know he could start or come out of the bullpen. So, yeah, I think the Yankees are looking pretty good. Confidence for me is getting a little better even after this weekend series and after beating Minnesota, which is not the hardest thing, but they did beat Minnesota 2 out of 3 after losing to Houston 2 out of 3. Maybe this is the turning point. Maybe this is that turning point for the Yankees. Maybe it's the turning point for the Mets too, right? Because they took 2 out of 3 against Seattle, which is not an easy task, right? So I'm feeling pretty good. Yankees are off tonight, but they got the 2-game series. I don't know why it's 2 games, but it's 2 games in Tampa. Hopefully they could sweep that, and then it's 4 games against Boston in the Bronx. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely. And Jonathan, I was only kidding around. I figured you hit the wrong button. And TBK, great to see you. Thanks for coming out there. And Jonathan, we definitely are going to get into that start by McLean, because he really, for a kid's first major league game, he was a stopper. And that he pitched a great game, and I want to get into that, but I just want to talk to Chris for a little while longer about the Yankees. And what do you think is going on with the pitching staff right now with the Yankees? How do you feel about the bullpen right now?
I'm feeling a little better with Bednar as the closer, right? You got Bednar as the closer, Weaver as that 8th and 7th inning guy, and the rest of the bullpen kind of falls into place. Obviously, Devin Williams can't come in the late games. Yesterday, I think he came in like the 6th inning. So that's probably where he's going to be pitching for a while, hopefully. But, and then you got Cruz coming back. Leiter is here. I think if Bednar and Weaver could be that 9th, 8th, and 7th inning guys, right? I think the rest of the bullpen kind of falls into place, right? I think we've always said that. Whenever there's the closer by committee, that never works out, right? That's never a good thing.
Never.
So I like when there's a closer and there's a main setup guy, and then the rest of the guys are in that 6th, 5th, 6th, 7th inning type of mix, right? So I like it. It's getting better. It's not where we thought it would be. Doval has not pitched well for us. So, but you know what? The rest of the bullpen's gotten better, and Bednar, if he's the closer, like I said, I love the rest of the bullpen, how it fits. The starting rotation, listen, if Heel comes back the way he pitched Friday night, yeah, if you could build on that start and the rest of the way and into the postseason, yeah, that's a huge lift for the rotation. Warren's been good for the most part. So yeah, he had a bad start this on Sunday. So, but we'll see about how he goes around his next start, I should say. It should be against Boston at the stadium. Fried is the one I'm most worried about, because he has not pitched well since that blister issue. I think it was right before the All-Star game. So we need him back, right? That's the guy we need back as the ace of the staff. No matter what, he's the key, I think, in any kind of run. If they're going to make in the playoffs, we need Fried as the ace pitcher that he was in the first half of the year. So let's hope that he could fix whatever is going on in this last month of the season.
Yeah, I agree with you. He's key. I mean, you need Fried to pitch like he was pitching for the first half of the year. I don't know. Do you think the blister? Do you think it's more than the blister? What are your thoughts? What do you think?
It's got to be. I don't think he would be able to pitch if he has the blister. So I think he's over the blister. It's just his control is not what it was in the first half. I mean, that even Girardi was saying that too. So I don't know if I don't think he's hurt, because he's still pitching fine, but you never know with pitchers, especially veteran guys. They just want to go out and pitch. So, but they got to figure him out. They got to fix him going into late September and then, the postseason, because without him, it's going to be really tough. I mean, Philly obviously got the bad news with losing Wheeler for a while, right? He's got that shoulder issue now. The blood clot or whatever. He just had surgery today, but losing him for the Phillies is huge, right? Because I mean, that guy's an ace, bona fide ace, even in the postseason. That's what we need with Fried, and Fried's been that guy in the postseason for the Braves. So we'll see.
That's for sure. How do you like what Jonathan wrote, Chris?
Yes, I could see. Yeah, that would be interesting. It would be interesting to see how George would be with this whole pitch calm and you know what? I would have loved to have seen him, how he would have dealt with the Astro series when they cheated with the garbage can videos and all that. I would have loved to have seen his response to the commissioner when the commissioner doesn't do anything to them. It would have been great to see his response.
Oh, he would have. He definitely would. He definitely would have been nuts. But anyway, like you say, they have two against the Rays, and it is really a home game for the Yankees, no matter
Yes.
what. I mean, you could say whatever you want to say,
And listen,
it
and
could
it's
sit.
the same, right? It's the same dimensions. So,
Yes,
like, the stadium, even if it's not Yankee Stadium, you first of all you play all spring training there, and then it's the same dimensions as Yankee Stadium, so you're really comfortable there. So I'm sure, yeah, it probably feels like a home game. I hope it. I hope they win those two games, but we'll see.
and then the Yankees, of course, have the big series against the Red Sox coming up this weekend, which we'll get into on Friday night. We got so much going on.
Yes.
You're gonna be talking about that on the Pesky podcast on Wednesday, right? With the Boston Sports Entertainment Network. So you're gonna get a
7
chance to
o'clock
go
on
on
Wednesday.
7 o'clock on Wednesday. So if anyone wants to catch that, Chris will be on talking Yankees Red Sox. So I'm looking forward to hearing that. But let's go to the Mets, because I think right now the Mets were in more of a problem than the Yankees. It was a bad month where the Mets finally won their first series since sweeping San Francisco, if you could believe that. What a bad spell. But they did it against a strong Mariners team, right? The Mariners with their pitching, and they finally got their hitting. Friday night, the Mets. I don't know what was going on. What's going on with Helsley? I really was happy that they picked him up from the Cardinals, and until last night, he finally pitched well last night. I don't know what is going on with him. Chris, do you think it's because he's not the closer, even though he says it's okay with him that he's set up? But I don't know. He just doesn't look like the same pitcher when he was pitching for the Cardinals.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we've seen that before. When question is Yankee Stadium the only field left not named after a corporation? It might be. There's not many. I don't. Oh, Dodger Stadium isn't.
Yeah,
right?
Dodger Stadium.
Stadium.
Dodger Stadium.
I think with Helsley, like, we've seen this happen where a pitcher is much better as the closer than as the setup guy.
Yes.
But I think listen, I know we're just talking as fans, but the guy's got to get over it. You know what I mean? He's got to say, listen, Diaz is the closer. I'm the eighth inning guy. Boom, done.
And that's it.
Eighth inning is my inning to close. That's it. You got to prepare yourself for it. Like, listen, we're going for the playoffs here. We're going to be in the playoffs this year, and if we make a run, it's going to be because of our bullpen. It's going to be because of that eighth inning, ninth inning guys shutting the game down, because every game's going to be close, right? We see it every year. So he's got to mentally I don't know. He's got to change his mentality. It's not the ninth inning, it's the eighth inning. Figure it out and do it, because it's not physical, right? It's all mental with this guy. This guy's still throwing 100 and something miles an hour, right? So it's not physical. It's all mental.
It definitely is. So the Mets blew Friday night's game, and he blew the game. Let's face it. They blew a 6-4 lead, and you said, here we go again. This weekend is going to be horrible. And, people like Frank the Tank are ready to jump out of the windows, and it's really, crazy. But Saturday, a kid came up, okay? Nolan McLean. And how could you go wrong with the name Nolan, right?
There you go. Exactly.
Right? So the kid pitched a great game. It looked like he, no pressure. The kid, he walked 4, and he's known for walking. But other than that, he really, he pitched a great game. I know you saw some of the game, and he looked great. His debut was great. The spin he puts on that ball is really, it's really amazing. And he also made that play, that double play where he caught the ball behind his back.
Yeah,
right.
That was a great play.
To get out of that inning, what a play that was. So looking at McLean, what did you think of his debut, Chris?
Oh, it was great. And you seen the confidence. It was like this kid, he's not a rookie. He wasn't, he wasn't up there nervous or anything like that. You just seen the confidence in this kid. And you may look back that this might be the game that saved their season, right? Because if they lose that game, if he comes out and pitches like a kid that just threw his first game, right? He gets shelled or whatever, and they lose that game. You're looking at best winning one game in that series, and it's just like our season is just going the same way. But he might have saved the season, right? They win that game, and then they come back and win last night. That might come down to the game-saving, season-saving win right now, right? When you think about it, I mean, if they lose, that's big.
Yeah, and he kept the Mariners scoreless into the 6th inning, which, the Mets starters have not been able to make it past the 4th or 5th inning for the past month. So the kid got them through that, right? And he was more like John McClane from Die Hard, putting down the enemy. It was just great. And the Mets started hitting again. And in that game, Alonso got his 100th RBI, Lindor got his 70th, and Soto got his 71st. Lindor, and what have I been saying? And they said it on the broadcast last night. The Mets go as Lindor goes, and that is the truth. Lindor is hot. In fact, he was named Player of the Week for last week. They just announced it right before we came on. He's starting to hit again, and when Lindor hits, the Mets hit, and the Mets win. So they have to keep it up. And last night's game in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, the Little League Classic was a great game. Holmes looked good. He didn't look tired, Chris, last night.
No, that was big. And that's another one that he needed to step up, right? Especially after what, his last few starts, we've been talking about it. And trust me, everybody else has been talking about it. Like maybe he's hit a wall. Maybe he's done, and maybe, with the innings pitched that he hasn't pitched in 7 years in his career. He's never pitched in the majors. So maybe he was hitting that, that wall physically, but listen, he pitched great last night. I mean, that's huge. That's another 2 big starts, right? In these last 2 nights for the Mets might have turned around the season. Let's see what they do, this week and going forward. But listen, these 2 games might have turned the season around for the Mets.
Yeah, it might have. And like we said, Lindor was hot. He had 3 hits last night, an RBI. The Mets got to George Kirby. They scored 7 runs. And Vientos finally hit a 3-run homer. Where was he last week? He didn't even play last week, really. And, he hits a 3-run homer last night in the 5th, 4 RBIs for the night. So if he starts hitting like he did down the stretch last year, the Mets are going to be okay. And, to take it away from the game for a second, I really like when Major League Baseball does this stuff. That's great. The Little League Classic is great for the kids. Last year, the Yankees and Detroit were there. This year, the Mets and Mariners. And, I really like stuff like that, Chris.
Absolutely. You're talking about, expanding the game, especially with different countries and all that, right? Like they're all there for the Little League World Series. And, you're trying to grow the game and all that. That's a great example of it. Like sometimes, or even the last few years, we got to say the Major League Baseball has actually done the right thing, right? Like this year with the All-Star game, went back to the team jerseys, not the stupid All-Star jerseys that we've been seeing the last few years. So they fixed that. Think about it. The pitch clock. I know a lot of people don't like it, but you know what? It's made the game better, right? The pace of game is so much better. We still hate the extra runner like everybody else, but I think everything else that they've done in the past couple of years have actually been a good thing that have actually helped the game, So, and doing this is never going to hurt the game whatsoever. Anytime you could get kids involved in this way, it's always going to help grow the game, right? So here, not only do you have American fans, but you have, international fans there as well. These little kids, that's your target audience, right? Me, you, and everybody else who's anybody older than like 35 is not the target audience. It's everybody below that, especially these young kids, right? They want to get all new fans. Not that they're new fans. They obviously like baseball, but you know what I mean? Like these are the fans they want to talk to, not so much us.
Yeah, and seeing these kids participate, they get to hang with Major League Baseball players, which is great. They have the kids on the broadcast, they have them in that, they have the kids cast, they do all that stuff. That's great. And it does and like you said, with the pitch clock and stuff Major League Baseball has done, that keeps the pace going because kids, kids nowadays, they're not like we were, where we would sit and watch the game and, they had none of this other stuff going on. Now everything's fast paced. So it's good for the kids. Like we said, we just wish they would get rid of that stupid ghost runner. That's little league to me. But exactly. Other than that, baseball has been doing the right thing. But during last night's broadcast, we heard some news, right, Chris, about realignment. So
yes,
what do you want to say about that?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the realignment, the major realignment that we've seen, like that they put up, that Jim Bowden, I think he put it up a couple of years ago. That you're talking about different divisions now. American League and National League is gone. That's major realignment, which I don't think it's not going to help the game, right? Like I'm just saying, like everything is going positive for the game right now. You don't want to put a negative out there. So I would think that they gotta, Jonathan say Mets, Yanks, Phillies, and Red Sox. That would be not great. It's just insane, that division. Right. And we want to see Mets, Yanks possibly in the World Series, and it takes away the Subway Series effect. It just wouldn't be good. You don't want to put the Cubs and White Sox in the same division either. Right. So I think it would be a really bad mistake to put a division together like this. So listen, expansion's coming. We know that, right? It's natural for every single league to do it. This is greed taking over. It may not be the right time, right? Because we can see the hitting is not that good right now for the league. So I don't know if it's a great idea to do to expand, but they're definitely going to expand, right? And it's probably going to be 2 teams. I don't think they'll just do one. So
no, they can't.
I don't mind a little bit realignment. Like me and you were talking about it earlier before the show, kind of thinking about different ways to do it. So there's ways to do it without changing, the whole landscape of baseball like it is now, like really going nuts, right? There's ways of doing it. So let's hope that they go in that direction where, we got to add 2 teams, but let's not, reinvent the wheel here. Baseball's been around a long time. American League, National League, right? We still want to see that. We still want tradition in some way. So
Jonathan, I think it may be Nashville. Portland, me and Chris were talking about this. I don't know if I can't see Portland getting a team because Seattle's going to block that. Just too close, and I don't think there's enough fan base out there to support both Seattle and Portland. Utah, the problem with Utah is it's going to be like another Colorado where that ball's going to fly and pitching staffs are going to get destroyed. So I don't know. I personally think that it's probably going to be Nashville. I think they could do it, but I don't know about Portland and Oregon. And for your other thing, Mets, Yanks, Phillies, Red Sox, me and Chris were talking about that exact alignment before, and that wouldn't be good for baseball. But Chris, what do you think about Utah and Portland? I don't think.
I think Utah's got the better chance. I think the top 3, not in any order, but I think it's going to be either Nashville. I think Nashville's going to get it, right? Because we've seen them play in Tennessee this year. At Bristol at the racetrack. So I'm thinking that's like a hint. And that place was packed, right? 80,000 people, whatever it was.
84,000.
84,000. Yeah. So that just shows you the excitement is there. So Major League Baseball is already kind of showing you a hint. So if that's one team, I think the other ones are going to be either Raleigh, North Carolina, because they're up there as well. And I think Utah's got a really good chance
Me too.
Out of 2. I remember talking to our good friend Matt Patterson, who was on here a while back, the Baltimore Orioles fan, and he's from Utah. So he was telling us that, in that sense, it looks like they got a really good chance. I know what you're saying with the Colorado, with it's going to be thin air up there and it's going to whatever. So I could see that too, but it's a possibility. I think Nashville's one. The other 2, I think, is going to be between Raleigh and Utah. Because we also heard Orlando. I don't think that's going to happen because, listen, the 2 Florida teams now can't get fans. So I can't see adding a 3rd Florida team. To me, it doesn't make sense, but we'll see.
Yeah, I agree with you. I can't see Florida supporting 3 teams. They can't even support 2 teams. I mean,
one.
All right.
How about one?
Yeah, how about one? All right. The Marlins, they built that stadium in the wrong place. Let's face it. We've talked about this before, So that's one beautiful stadium, not in the best neighborhood. People have to feel safe going to a game. So that's one of the problems. Thanks, Joe Dell. Watching a show and eating dinner.
Well, there you go. Maybe other people are going to catch on, and we'll be there. We'll be dinner time. Dinner time in baseball. Why not?
Yeah,
that might be starting a trend for us.
Anyway, so we'll see what happens with this expansion, but it's going to happen. We know that it's going to happen.
Yeah, it's going to happen. We see it. Unfortunately, it's all about the league, right? It's all about greed, and I could see the point that Major League Baseball wants to realign so that they travel less, right? So I think there is going to be some kind of realignment. I don't think it's not going to happen. I think there's going to be something. Let's just hope it's not like that division where it's the Mets, Yanks, Phillies, and Red Sox in the same division, right? If anything, and also too, if you're going to put the Yankees and Mets together, you may as well put the Phillies and the Pirates together, right? Because they're in the same state too, right? So I don't know. It's going to be. I don't know. Let's wait and see what baseball has in the plans here. They might put out something and see what kind of fan reaction first, and maybe even players. I would think the players are going to be fine with realignment as long as they travel less. They'll be fine with it, right? Because obviously less traveling on a plane and everything else, they probably would love that idea.
Of course. Listen, less traveling on a plane, more time with their family. I mean, you can't blame them. But it's still for the fans. It's just I don't like some of those divisions that could come out. To me, it would ruin it. And I definitely do not want them to eliminate the American League and the National League. I mean,
no.
that would be horrible. So we'll just have to wait and see. I wanted to go back to something real quick. Zach Wheeler with the blood clot. That really is a big. That's big for the Phillies going down the stretch and for the playoffs. If you remember, Matt Harvey had that problem, and that could have ruined Harvey's career because he had the surgery, and 2016 this happened to him. And when he came back, he was never the same pitcher. I mean, I'm not saying that's going to happen to Wheeler, but that's not a good thing. The Phillies, I think that really puts a damper on the Phillies.
Oh, absolutely. And he's the ace. It's not like, and listen, they do have other guys that are pitching well, right? Christopher Sanchez he's having a great season, and he's going to probably get some Cy Young votes. You got Ranger Suarez back there. He's starting to pitch well too. So yeah, the pitching is there, but man, you lose Wheeler, just like perfect example. We're a great example, right? With the Yankees. The Yankees lost, our ace. We lost our ace before the season started, right?
Yep.
So, I mean, it's hard to lose a guy like that going into the season. Like Aaron Nola used to be a guy that you could count on, but he has not pitched well. Luzardo, really good for a while. He's had a couple of, he's been up and down, but it's nobody in that pitching staff is Zach Wheeler, right?
No.
And he's a guy that we've seen him time and time again pitch really well in the playoffs, right? And you're losing that. So, can he come back at all this year? We don't know. He had a procedure done today. They didn't put any time frame on it. usually that's not a good sign either, right? When they don't put a time frame on it. So listen, I hate to see guys get hurt, right? And I know it's helping you guys out without him there, and it's helping out the entire National League. Let's be honest.
I know.
But
still, you don't like to see that happen. And hi, Mickey, we appreciate you being out there. Jonathan said, Jonathan, where is it? Let me just get that.
3 to 6 months on blood thinners, and wow, that would. If that's the case, man, that's a huge blow to the Phillies. And then when you turn it around and you look at the Dodgers, are on the total opposite. Like they're getting all their starters back, right? Like they got their rotation back. I mean, their bullpen is still banged up, but they got, now you're talking, they got Snell, they got Glass now, they got Kershaw, they got Yamamoto, right? That's your 4 starters. And then you throw in Ohtani in there. If he's going to start, who knows what he's going to do? Or right,
or in the bullpen,
right? Or in the bullpen. Like that's the thing with this is the Dodgers now. Like in the beginning of the season and in the middle, like we were like, oh, maybe they're not going to be that good, right? With all these injuries, but when you put these guys all back healthy, the Dodgers are back to being the Dodgers, right? So but this is a big blow for the Phillies.
Yeah, Mickey, I kind of agree with you. This is a big deal, and I don't know if Wheeler's going to come back this year. I guess like Chris said, they didn't give a timeline, which is never good. And look how late it is already. So we'll just have to see. So that's a big blow for the Phillies. All right, so the Nationals released former Silver Slugger Nathaniel Lowe, and the Red Sox picked him up. Chris, what do you think about that move?
Yeah, no, I think that was a good sign for them. They lost Marcelo Meyer for the season. He's having surgery done, so he's done for the year. And they've been looking for a first baseman all year since Cassis went down, right? And then they wanted Devers, and we know how that went. But they really haven't had a legit first baseman there. Not that Nathaniel has been that good this year, but you know what? He's something, right? So I don't. It wasn't a bad idea to pick him up. You never know. You might get lightning in a bottle for a month. Ride him into the playoffs. So you never know. I mean, this might be a big move for them. It might be nothing, but you got a legit first baseman. So I think that's a big move.
We'll have to see. And hello, Maria. Thanks for watching. So the Mets DFA'd Paul Blackburn. No big deal. He did nothing this year, really. So that's not a big loss. He was a disappointment coming over from the A's. Something else happened, and I want to get your opinion about this, Chris. Excuse me, Victor Robles. He gets hit by he got hit 3 times, right? In rehab in AAA, and he throws his bat at Joey Estes, right? What do you think about that?
You know what? I when you see the replays, it's got to be frustrating. You're getting hit 3 times, but he leans over the plate, like his arms are over the plate, like when he bats, because he extends his arms out when he bats. So it kind of looked like, listen, you're still getting hit, but it was just not, throwing a bat at somebody. I know you're frustrated, but man, you also lean over the plate kind of. So I get it, but it's kind of, I don't know. It was not a good look for him. Let's say it that way.
and he apologized. And Estes did hit him last year when he was pitching for Oakland, and I think he got hit twice in that game or series against Oakland. So that might have been on his mind. But you're in a AAA game, rehab, and that was definitely not a good look for him. And he apologized really fast. But sometimes these guys just have to keep cool and think about what they're doing. Here's
the play. I got it up here so we could watch it.
Okay, good. Let's take a look at this. Chris does a great job with all this stuff. Let me tell you.
So you could say, let me go back to it. Like, see how look at right there. Look where his arm
is. It's not on the screen. It's
It's
not
not?
up. No.
Oh.
There we go. Okay.
Okay. I mean, just look at where, you could see where he's standing, not his body,
I
but
mean,
his wrist and his bat is almost over the plate,
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, you're right.
right? I mean, it is he is on top of the plate. Yeah, he did get hit, but still throwing a bat, you should not be. Listen, you want to run after him after that. Yeah, go for it, but not throw the bat. That's not good. So
Yeah, no, that's not a good look for him. It's not a good look for him. But excellent getting that video, Chris. That's great. Yeah, especially like with the whole weekend talking about Little League and all this stuff, and then they see this stuff on TV. They see the replays. It's just not a good look.
No, not at all.
Okay, I think that's a personal message to Jonathan from Mickey, so I'll take that off.
Again, it's got to be frustrating for Robles getting hit 3 times, in a row or whatever, or 3 times within a day or two. But that's still not good. You don't throw the bat at somebody. Exactly. Just rush the mounds, right? If you're that frustrated and if you think it was intentional in any way, yeah, I would be chasing the mound. I would go after the pitcher, but not with the bat. I mean, come on.
Yeah, no, it's
not right.
Listen, it's not right, but okay. Here's another thing I want to bring up. There's a lot of cool things going on in baseball. This is the Yankees on Thursday night, right? They're having Seinfeld night, and they're giving away a George Costanza sleeping under the desk bobblehead for the first 18,000 fans. And Chris, I want one of those. That sounds great.
I think we all want one of those.
The only thing is, again, I'm gonna talk about this for the first 18,000 fans. Okay, what about the rest of this? Is Yankees Red Sox? So the stadium's going to be sold out. First of all, right. What about the rest of the fans? It's ridiculous, and I'm going to keep complaining about this. Why can't, with the money being made? There it is. That's great.
Who wouldn't want that? Come on.
That's like got to be one of the best bobbleheads that ever. Okay.
Right. If anybody watched Seinfeld, like that's an awesome bobblehead, right?
Oh yeah.
And the backstory on the bobblehead is that he asked Jerry's repair guy that was making cabinets in his kitchen to build a bed or a spot where he could sleep underneath his desk while he's
in Yankee Stadium when he worked for the Yankees.
Right. So that's what that is about. So, but anyway, yeah, I love it. But like you said, yeah, it should be for all fans. Or you know what? If it's not for all fans, just make it for kids. Make it just for kids, not for adults.
Yeah.
Because we know. All right, what's the percentage do you think is going to put that up for eBay after the game?
Oh, listen, that's going to
90%, right?
Yeah. Listen, okay, I'm going to say I'll won't go crazy with 90%, but I'll say like 80% to 85%. Hell yeah, they're going to do that. But still, that doesn't matter. Once they give it to you, it's yours. You could do whatever you want with it. There's enough money. These sponsors have a ton of money. And it used to be different when we were young because they didn't always have sponsors. And I've mentioned this before on the show. When the Mets gave away batting helmets, it was just the Mets making the batting helmets usually. There were no advertisements on the back of that batting helmets. The same thing with the bats and everything when I was a kid. So everybody got one. And if you didn't get one, they would give you a coupon where you could get one at another time. So and that was, back in the day. Now, with all these corporations that are sponsoring it, like Verizon, you tell me if Verizon's sponsoring something, they can't get 45,000 things made. Of course they could. It's Verizon. It's just, I don't know if it's because they're worried, like you said, I don't know if it's because they're worried that they might they might not, they may have too many left over.
Give away, right? Some of these things you could give away. It's not like, whether it's a shirt, a hat, a bat, a bobblehead, there's places where you could give these away to. right? There's like children's hospitals or,
Yes.
homeless shelters that might need a shirt. I don't know, something. So there's little leagues that could probably use a bat if they gave away a bat or something like that, right? Or hats. I mean, come on, there's ways of giving away these things. And with the Yankees, they usually get 30, 40,000 a night, no matter what day it is. So, I mean, and when it's a giveaway, everybody goes to those games, right? Just like with the Mets, right? If there's a bobblehead or a jersey night, it's sold out, right? I mean, everybody wants to get those things.
Yeah, and then you have a bunch of disappointed kids. The adults, like you said, adults are adults, but you have kids that do not get the giveaway, and you gotta listen to them whine all night, and whatever. It's just not right. And then the parents are going to be, and maybe this is why the parents are going to end up spending more money because now they got to buy the kid another souvenir because they didn't get the giveaway. So maybe that's maybe they're marketing geniuses by not making, enough for everybody. I don't know, but there definitely should be enough, Chris.
I'm sure it's something. I'm sure it's something like that. It's sad as what you're saying, right? That it's about to buy other stuff. I'm sure that's probably a part of it. I'm sure that's a part of it. That, and the sponsors don't want to spend another, whatever it's going to cost them, $20,000, $10,000. I'm not even that much, but whatever it is. So
yeah,
right,
Joe,
you're right. He's right.
Yeah.
I'm with him.
Yeah,
but you can get in for cheap.
Yeah.
Listen, everything else is expensive. Don't buy any food or buy any, souvenirs, because that's what's gonna. But you can get in for cheap now.
Listen, you could. You could. Yeah, Chris, you could. The problem is the parking. Yeah, yes. When parking went up to like 25, then 30, then 35, and then 50, that's ridiculous. But no, the Mets have nights where they have $5 things on the menu and stuff. So you're right about that.
And it sucks for a family of 4 or 5. It does. Listen, it's hard. We know it. All of us. Trust me, I'm not going to, a lot of games anyway because of that reason, right? We can't, it's hard. I used to have a partial season ticket plan, but I
always
can't
did.
Well, right? It's crazy. But
yeah,
it is what it is. Just the parking, like you said, is like $50 to park. And you know what? That, on the other side, supposedly is not a Yankee thing. That's the city. The city supposedly owns the park. So, right.
No,
so that's the city more than the Yankees.
Going to Met games, I would have to go really early, just first of all to get there from here because it's ridiculous. Right. And then I would go early so I could park, so I didn't have to park in the stadium. I could park on the street under the overpasses and stuff where the truck would park. And it was just crazy. But that's the way it is. So another thing I wanted to bring up, it's going to be our first year anniversary, August 26th, of the podcast, not of the video part. But Chris, I can't believe it's been a year already since we've been doing this.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable to think that it's been a year, or it's going to be a year. It is crazy. Players always throwing out free gifts to fans. Got to make it worth people's right. Exactly. If you're not gonna put money into the team by signing players, then you got to give away. But that's the opposite with the Yankees. Yankees and the Mets spend $300 million on payroll. So they got to make their money back, right? So they're going to jack up, the bottle of water is going to be $10, right? Or, the beers are going to be like 17, whatever it is, right? So they got to make their money back. That's just like, listen, TBK and the rest of the Oriole fans, if you want the team to sign guys and to have a $300 million payroll, like the Yankees, like the Dodgers, like the Mets, or even Phillies, you know what? The tickets are going to go up, right? It is what it is. So
yeah, it is.
I appreciate the cheaper tickets. That's all I'm going to say.
But anyway, we're going to announce on Friday night because we have a really big show on Friday night. I think we're going to have a huge live
big audience. And loud show Friday night.
Yeah, a big and loud show at 10 p.m. because we're going to have the return of Anthony Savino, right? Everybody everybody loved his last appearance. Let me tell you, he got a lot of views. We had a lot of, I think that was one of our highest live audiences that we've had. And he's going to be on with our friend Scott Morganroth, who is the, we became very good friends with him. We've been on his show. He's from the, he's called the Motor City Madmouth. Okay. And he's from the South Florida Tribune Network, which they do a ton of shows. We've been on them. In fact, I'm going to be on tonight's 108 Stitches baseball show with former Mets manager Mickey Callaway. And Mickey actually is going to be on our show with Scott 2 weeks from Friday. So this Friday night, we're going to have Scott and Anthony Savino. And, you know, if the Mets don't continue to win, Anthony's going to go nuts. So we know that. And the following Friday, we're going to have former Mets manager Mickey Callaway on with Scott also. So if you guys have any questions you want us to ask them, get in touch with us. But we have a lot of stuff coming up. And Drew, yeah, Soto should buy everyone. You know what? That would be like nothing for him. I definitely like that too. But we have a lot coming up, and I just want to.
There's Scott's book, just to let you know that Scott Morganroth, the guy we're talking about with the South Florida Tribune, he also put out a book with, you know, he's got over 40 years in the business covering sports, right? Definitely a great book to check out. And his website, South Florida Tribune, another great to check out as well. So, and again, like tonight, you're going to be on the baseball show. I'm going to be on this show Wednesday night at 8:30 as well. So check us out there. Drew, I agree. Soto should definitely buy everyone a beer. I think like Soto should buy beer for the Met, you know, for the Met fans, Yankee fans. Yeah, Judge should go out there. Like that's like a drop in the bucket for them. So it's no big deal, right? So yeah, why not?
And Chris is also, I think I mentioned it before, Chris is going to be on the Pesky podcast, and he's gonna talk Yankees, Red Sox on Wednesday night. Chris, you're going to be busy on Wednesday night, right? You're going to do 2 shows. And yes, Frank Savino is going to be here on Friday night. We can't wait.
Yes,
when he was on last month, it was great. We had so much fun. He just, and everybody out there loved him. We got so many messages about Anthony, so we can't wait until Friday night. I love the idea of having him coming on with Scott, Chris.
Yeah, I just hope it's not going to be, not that I want to see the Mets lose, but I just hope it's not off of the Mets winning 5 or 6 straight and everything is hunky-dory, you know, in Queens, and everything is great with the Mets. That I hope not. I hope there's a little bit of tension is all I'm thinking. You know, like it was last week going into the Seattle series. That's what I want to see going into the weekend series. I want a little bit of tension so we get the best of Anthony out, you know?
Yeah, well, it's gonna be something. Oh yeah, and then tomorrow, that's right, TBK. Go ahead, Chris, announce tomorrow.
Right. Tomorrow we're going to start our football show with TBK. The 3 of us. We're going to be doing a weekly football show. Definitely check us out. Should be a lot of fun, man. I'm looking forward to it. I do a football show anyway I'm going to be doing it on Wednesday morning this week. I'm going to have Marvin Powell III. He's the son of great Jet tackle Marvin Powell. So check us out. I'll be posting that up at some point on Wednesday. But yeah, it should be fun. Yes, I am. And I'm going to be talking with the Red Sox. It's going to be on a Red Sox podcast. So I'm going into enemy waters there on Wednesday at 7:00. So kind of cross your fingers for me that I could survive out of there.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't make Wednesday night show, or else I would have been on it too. They're a lot of fun, but I cannot make it Wednesday. So Chris is going to listen, who better than Chris to give it to the Red Sox fans, you know?
Yeah,
and
I hope Drew understands. I'm the Yankee fan. I'm not a Met fan. I'm a Yankee fan.
Yeah, this is
Rob. Rob is the Met fan. I'm the Yankee fan.
So the show's even Mets Yankees, which is great in all of MLB. So Chris, that's why Chris is going to handle the Yankee thing on Wednesday night with.
And you're doing the Philly one, right? When are you
Oh
doing?
yeah, and then next week, a week from Wednesday, I'm going to be doing a Philadelphia Phillies show that I've been booked on for a couple of weeks. So hey, listen, you guys. Because you guys, people see that we get a lot of viewers, and
Exactly.
they want us on their shows, and it's great. And like I said last week, I did that whole thing. We really appreciate that you guys come on, you stay for the whole show, and it just made this show explode everywhere. TikTok, if you guys want to see our clips on TikTok, we're on TikTok. It's just great. And Chris, this week, Chris is going to be all over the place. I'm looking forward to watching.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to talk Yankees and Red Sox with a couple of Red Sox guys. They're really cool guys. Definitely check them out. Pesky Podcast. I'll be there Wednesday night at 7:00 till 8, and then from 8:30 I'll be on the other one. So I'm definitely I'll be talked out by the end of Wednesday night. But I'm telling you, I'm so psyched for Friday night to see Savino and Scott together, and we're gonna just have a really good time on that. Nuts.
Yeah,
yes, they are. They are nuts. But you know what? They're passionate like we are, like New York fans are. They're no different. They might be a little rougher on the edges, some of them, but some New York fans are like that too, right? So we're just talking about, just passionate fans. That's it.
Yeah, and you know what, Drew, I could handle them. So it's
yeah,
fine.
exactly.
But they're passionate, definitely, and it's going to be fun doing a Philly show. And I just hope that the Mets continue to win, so I don't have to talk to them about the Mets losing and out of it. So hopefully it is. And Joe Dell loves Anthony Savino. All right, he thinks he's the greatest.
Everybody loves Joe, so that works really good because Joe Dell's episodes were really big too. They were some of our biggest ones. So
yeah, it's like we have a line. I can't give everyone out, but we have a lineup of guests coming on. I told you about Friday night with Anthony and Scott. Then the following Friday, Scott and ex-Met manager Mickey Callaway, which I'm looking forward to having him on our show. I'm doing a show with him tonight. If you guys want to check out the South Florida Tribune on YouTube, go check it out. That's the South Florida Tribune. Give them a follow, a subscribe. Check out the show. We're gonna have a lot of fun tonight. It's gonna be a lot of Mets stuff. I already got the list, so it's gonna be fun tonight. Check them out. Support the shows that we go on, and we really appreciate it. Yeah, that's a good analogy there. TBK.
They will come, right?
That's great. TBK,
if you build it, they will come.
Yeah,
I agree.
We're looking forward to the football show. We're looking forward to everything we're doing. Real quick, I started to bring it up for our anniversary. We're going to have a contest, a giveaway, which we're going to announce Friday night, and we're going to have some good prizes, Chris, right? So that'll be something good.
Yeah, we'll announce that Friday. We're going to the prizes.
Yeah, let's announce that Friday when Anthony and Scott are on the show.
Yeah, sounds good. Here's the Pesky Podcast. If you guys are on Twitter /X, give them a follow. That's the one I'll be on Wednesday. To check them out. It's gonna be a lot of fun because those guys, we've been on that show a couple of times already, and they're a bunch of really great guys. Yeah, they're Red Sox fans, but they're still good guys. I know a couple of Red Sox fans that are cool, so they're not bad.
Listen, everyone's passionate about their team, right? And you can't put them down because they like a team. You could get into arguments or whatever, of course, but you can't put someone down. Their team's their team, and your team's your team. So you really can't. And
thank you, Drew.
Oh yeah, that's good. Chris does a lot of he posts a lot of good stuff. And
if you're on Facebook, the Sports Authority is a great sports group, great bunch of guys. John Gonzalez, he's the founder of the page. Give him a follow as well. But definitely check out the Sports Authority. We always post our stuff there. I post my football podcast up there too. Definitely check it out. And other posts, any kind of posts I see I think people will be interested with sports. I always post it up there. And sometimes we have an interesting discussion about it. Sometimes not that interesting, but definitely check that out. It's a great group on Facebook to check out.
Yeah, definitely. So we have Yankees and Rays, Mets and the Nationals. I just want to say real quick, the Mets better take 2 out of 3 from the Nationals. I mean, now's the time. They have to. If not sweep, they have to take 2 out of 3. The Yankees, I think the Yankees will be all right. They're going to be in Florida, and we said it before, it's like a home game anyway, so there's nothing changes. So hopefully for Friday night, we will have a huge, I know, and I don't even have to say hopefully, we're going to have a huge audience. So you guys definitely have to come out and watch Friday night show. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be on at 10 p.m. If the games aren't over, we're going to start at 10 no matter what, and we'll just update you on the games. Right, Chris?
Yeah, and hopefully good updates. Hopefully it's not bad updates. I don't want anybody flipping out on the show, whether it's me for the Yankees or Savino or yourself with the Mets. Hopefully there's no bad endings on those games either. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Friday, man. Friday night's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to probably get a little loud, I think, with Savino and maybe even Scott. But yeah, definitely join us, man. It's a lot of passionate fans getting connected, getting together for that show. So it should be fun.
Yeah, well, that's it, Chris. Do you have anything else you want to say before we go?
No, I think that's it. I think we've updated our schedule for this week, which is a little nuts. Got football tomorrow. You got baseball tonight with you. And
that's at 8:30. Yeah, that's at 8:30. Remember, check out South Florida Tribune. Mickey Callaway is going to be on. Scott's going to be on.
I'll try to repost it on Facebook in that Sports Authority group when you're on, so this way people could join.
Yeah, Eric Katz is going to be on. He's an excellent baseball person, so there's going to be a lot of people on.
We'll be having him on the show soon too, right?
Yeah, we're going to have him on. We got a whole bunch of people that we will let you guys know about. But anyway, Chris, another great show. Had a lot of fun.
Yep, as always.
And we will catch everybody.
Remember, hit that sub button for us if you haven't on YouTube. We would appreciate it. And keep talking in the comments. We love to chat with you guys. So next show we have Friday night at 10 o'clock. Come back, hang out with us, hit us in the chat, talk. We love it.
Definitely. And remember, it's going to be a lot of fun because we're going to have Anthony Savino yelling about the Mets, and we're going to have Scott out there, and it's going to be great. So we will see everybody Friday night at 10. And if you check us out, we're on all week at other places. Have a great night.